All right, and when it comes to new weapons, we they did confirm that the Faust Hat will be a brand new type of weapon, and it resembles a cowboy hat and it gives Dante special abilities that harness red orbs to perform attacks such as meteor storms. The hat can also be thrown at an enemy, which will mark them and will return with even more red orbs once the foe is killed. However, the player can lose more red orbs if the enemy is not defeated and attacks the player instead. So, yeah, alright. It when you read it, it's kind of confusing to know how it works, but I believe there is footage over there during the NYCC panel. So, guys, first impressions on the Faust hat.
Yeehaw!
There we go.
I'm a fan of it. You know, I always thought that Dante would look better with cowboy hat, and now it's come true. The color is an okay one. It could be better. Would have looked better in either red or black, but I digress.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can change the color of it later. Who knows?
Hopefully. I think it's a very interesting way to introduce a weapon. It feels like it's gonna be since you can summon that meteor storm with it.
Yeah.
It feels like it's gonna be more like rather than the straight on combos that Dante does. It'll feel like it'll be more akin to using magic in another game. But hey, we'll see how much of a cowboy Dante is. If he doesn't ride a horse at least once, I'm gonna be disappointed though.
Me too. And reading the description of the Faust hat, am I the only one that gets reminded of Super Mario Odyssey for whatever reason?
I can kind of see it if in the way that he throws it, where it lands on an enemy's head. That honestly, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not the only one. But hey,
Yeah, well, I think it's cool with a good anti-microtransaction weapon. Some people try to say, "Oh, too many microtransactions." No, there isn't.
You have the way to farm red blood orbs right there. What, you think you're gonna lose your red blood orbs? What, do you suck? Eat good, scrub. Eat good.
yeah, it's completely different than anything we've seen in the franchise, so I think that's pretty cool. It's new, it's fresh, um, and also it implements, a lot of the red orbs in the combat system, so I think that's pretty cool. I like it a lot, and like you said, you can lose red orbs if the enemy is not defeated and attacks the player instead. Um, so yeah, it makes it challenging. I think it's gonna be pretty cool, but I don't know how many people are actually going to be using this when you can pick and choose with the weapons. This might be one of those weapons that people won't be using too much. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I mean, maybe it can be because if you can throw it onto an enemy to mark them, I imagine that it would stay on them. Maybe during that marking time, you can bring out other weapons and you can chain that combo. So it's not something that people would use on the offensive, but as like a support item. But it has that option to be used defensively.
Right. And you did already mention this, but we have to bring it up again. Does it have to resemble a cowboy hat of out of any other hat in the entire world? A cowboy hat?
It should be a cowboy hat, and I'm glad it is.
It's like, okay, I mean, it's not exactly the coolest type of hats.
Oh, what, do you want him in a beanie? Do you want to see Dante wearing a fucking fedora?
Hey, a beanie worked for Delson in Infamous Second Son.
That's a whole different look.
It looks
Dante
cool.
would not pull off that beanie. A
Oh,
trench coat
but
with a beanie, that is not cool.
but he can pull off a cowboy hat.
Fuck yeah, it is. It makes him look more Western, especially with that rugged charm of his. It fucking goes together. Although I will say the scarf is, I'm not a fan of the scarf. You've got me there. But the cowboy hat, you do not insult that.
It's the opposite. The scarf is okay, not the hat.
No. You're insane. That scarf is horrible.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't mind a beanie. I told you, Delson, he's cool.
There's a difference between Delson and
Sure.
Dante, though. It's two different character aesthetics. With Dante, I mean, it makes sense. It especially if he had Nero's revolver.
I mean, yeah,
Look,
they're two completely different characters. You're right, but I don't know, just something about a cowboy hat. I don't know. It's like that doesn't scream cool. That doesn't scream Dante.
here, let me send you this still image, and you tell me that he is a gunslinger at heart. And I'm glad that finally he has a cowboy hat where he can express that openly.
I
I
mean,
mean, did you want him to have like a baseball cap or a trilby?
I'm pretty sure those won't look good as those will not look good as well.
The hat reminds me of Michael Jackson a little bit when he's in certain poses.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's actually good. That was actually the picture I was gonna send. Straight up like Michael Jackson in this one. Bam. Look, don't you want to beat the shit out of enemies while listening to Smooth Criminal? You've
ne-
been struck by a smooth criminal.
never thought about it until now. You know what? Maybe I'll try that.
I mean, look, a baseball cap also wouldn't have worked.
Oh, that'll be bad.
What do you call it? That British hat where it's like a flat cap, that wouldn't have worked.
All right,
Look,
there are worse options than a cowboy hat, sure, but it's also not. It may not be the best. It's in the middle, I
it's
guess.
the best. It's the best.
Okay.
Look, do you want him to wear a newsboy cap or an old school style French Revolutionary hat?
I mean,
Oh.
hey, we don't know how it would look on him.
Don't you dare say yes.
We don't know how it would look on Dante.
You know what? We're giving him a white powdered wig now. So we're just throwing anything on him.
Yeah. All right, and so yeah, the Faust Hat, it's intriguing, has a lot of cool features to it, so I am excited to use it. All right, and now let's get on to something else. So, the Sweet Surrender is one of Nero's, what you call it?
Devil breakers.
Right, Devil Breaker. That's one of his Devil Breakers, and there's been a lot of sexual undertones with the Sweet Surrender when it comes to fans online. But one of the features of Sweet Surrender is that it can heal you, but only during the battle itself. So outside of battle, outside of combat, it won't heal you. What do you guys think?
I'm just saying it was more than undertones. It was like straight up overtones. Really, I'm surprised I didn't see any fan art.
Oh, I'm sure there's fan art somewhere. You can Google it.
The memes have been excellent though.
Oh, so good.
I can say it has another layer to the gameplay of the weapon. And yeah, the undertones or overtone. Man, be damned, it was funny.
I mean, hey, like, I was just looking it up just before we recorded. Like, there's long articles about the sexual nature of this weapon. I mean, like, guys, we get it, guys, we get it.
Look, it's an overglorified vibrator. Neo as a woman knows how it feels, and so Nero has a robot arm that can get a little rough, especially if you haven't had it for long. So you got to go with a robot arm that also works as a vibrator, and apparently it can heal you. So
Good point. Yeah, and like Hunter just said, it adds new layers to the combat. So I think this is pretty cool. And also you don't have to choose the Sweet Surrender. It's just an option there. So you should, yeah. So Yeah, it's cool. It will help a lot during combat, especially if you're not a good player and you keep getting hits. You'll be healed. We don't know how much, but I think this is pretty cool. Something new.